Leaving town of Woodville. It's not a big town. And look at my breakfast. Look at that beautiful pie. Ah, yum. Good way to start the day. Good morning. It is day 14. Yesterday was what I was anticipating to be one of the worst days because the whole day was on road. And it was on a ridge through a wind farm, which normally is quite windy, but yesterday was ridiculously windy. Oh wow, there were times I was having to just stand still and brace with myself with my poles. But it meant that I got through the distance really quick, and I had the draw of a town stop to keep me going. Body felt alright considering the previous day's long effort. It wasn't till I started the big downhill, and yeah, then my legs started to feel a bit tired. My feet are a bit sore, sort of under the balls of my feet, almost feel like they're rubbing. I've put chafing cream on, so there was nothing to see last night, but just could feel it. So yeah, last night spent at a little motel in Woodville and had some good food, just relaxed. It was nice to get out of the wind for a while. This morning I woke up, blue sky. And the wind has calmed down a lot. Still a bit of wind, but nowhere near as bad as yesterday. And leaving Woodville now. So I'm just walking the 1.5 kilometres to get back on my trail. And then I got another 2 kilometres on the road on the flats. And then my hill starts. Fortunately it's still on road, but it's a rougher road, and I've got a 900 metre climb, so I will get up to the big trig point, which is at 1,020 metres, and then from there I'm in the Ruahine Ranges and on tracks back into the wilderness, which will be good. And then from the trig, go along the ridge, drop down a lot to a stream, and then climb up a lot. So today is up and down some very steep hills, so not sure how far I'll go. Body's feeling alright, surprisingly, apart from my feet, but I'm sure as soon as they get off the roads they'll be fine. And this is where I left the trail yesterday. Alrighty, back on trail. The wind that I thought wasn't much, that's because I was going through the city, or the town, and it was sheltered. It's actually windy still, and it's a cold wind. It'll take a while to warm up, I think, but that hill up there is going to warm me up nicely. This is not fun. This is a really busy road. I think I've got the only quiet patch where there's nowhere to walk. Most of the cars have been really nice and are giving me plenty of room, but when there's cars coming the other way, they don't have a lot of choice. Hey, now I can get off that horrible road. It was only a couple of K, but busy road with not much place to walk is not fun. That road, it's become busy once the Manawatu Gorge closed because of slips. So this is now taken over as the main road. It wasn't designed for it. Right, so now I am heading straight down this road, and then at the end of that road I start climbing up. I go across the face and then up the ridge, up to the trig up there. It's a long straight. Thankfully there's cute little calves and other animals to keep me occupied as I'm walking along. Oh, still a long straight to go. Yeah, now I get to go to the gravel, and I am on Pariti Road because it's Pariti Peak. is where the trig is. And for the poles, because the hill is starting, I always find without the poles my hands start to swell up. But with the poles there's enough movement that it keeps the circulation going. Alright, let the hill begin. Maybe a bit of a slog climbing this hill, but not bad views to look at. You can just make out the little town of Woodville way down there, and that's the ridge I was on yesterday. Yeah, just past the farm. This is the last civilization I'll see for the next nearly 2 weeks. And yeah, climbing. This deserves another panorama. So you can see the road going up there, up to the edge of the bush line, then it follows the ridge line up to the trig, and this is just the panorama. Very green. It's spring and there's been a lot of rain, so it's really green. Oh, it's beautiful. There we go. It's a little flock of sheep. It started off with one sheep in front of me way back at the farm, and it was in front of me for maybe 200 meters and disappeared off to the side up a hill as I was going around, but then it dropped down in front of me, and it's just been slowly collecting more and more sheep as it goes, and it's now, and I've been stopping and stretching, and they're now miles away, merrily going up the hill collecting sheep as they go. I think I'm just using the views as an excuse to stop. Oh wow, gorgeous. Once again, that's Woodville. Oop. It's fun bringing my camper van up here to put in the resupply package. Some of these sections are really steep. Little tyres are spinning, trying to get traction a couple of times. Some of the cambers are also really steep as well. Starting to see over the west now. Just make out the ocean at the far end. Ridge I came on. That's Woodville. Right, off this road and up to the trig. I'll disappear off into the bush here where I left my resupply. And there it is. Untouched. Resupply done. Now my pack's heavy. Ruhuni Forest Park. 3k to road end and start of the Whariti Peak Track. 3 more k of road. Trying a new snack, a stroop waffle. It was at half price at Torpedo 7, which is sort of like REI equivalent. So let's give it a go. And for 30 grams, it's got 140 calories and 21 grams of carbs, which is pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I thought it would be sweet, but it's actually not sweet. And it's not a strong flavour, just a mild flavour, which is what I want when I exercise. Slightly chewy, so it doesn't crumble or anything. Yeah, might try those again. So the road goes around, goes on the other side, going up, then you can see it cuts back across this face, going across there, and then up to the radio tower. Whew, still a lot of climbing. I'm definitely noticing the difference of the weight with the 4 days resupply in my bag now. Ooh. Getting close, it's just there, but the views. So, Mount Ruapehu and Nanahoe, and then going around, and that's Mount Taranaki. Ooh. And I'm pretty sure if those clouds were clear, you'd probably see the South Island. Oh wow. Ruhi's beautiful. Woohoo, here it is. 920 meters. I started at 90 metres this morning, so 830 metre vertical climb. Whew. Makes a cute noise. Woohoo! Ah, so good to be off-road. I'm off-road for quite a while now. Look at that behind me! That's the Ruahinis! Woohoo! It is some tough going in the Ruahinis. If you thought the Tararuas are rough, the Ruahinis are different. They've got a lot of this leatherwood, which is going to make bush bashing very difficult. But yeah, happy to be back in bush and away from the roads. You can see the track going along. So the track's along a ridge for about 1 kilometre and then drops down to Copper Mine Creek. There's still snow on the hills in the background. Should be melted by the time I get there, and you just make out Tongariro, Ruapehu and Ngātahoe, the snowy mountains. Ruahinis are also famous for mud. Woohoo! I just stopped and tightened my shoes now that I'm off the roads. Mud, mud, mud. This is quite a popular track, so it's being quite well maintained. So not many tracks in Ruahine which are this wide and vegetation cut back, but still mud. Lunchtime! It is peanut butter on tortilla. I found a nice sheltered spot. I'm down the hill a little bit. Got my feet airing out, and unfortunately I have one blister. I knew it'd been hot spot along there, so just one blister, really awkward place, but now that we're on the softer ground, I think it'll be alright. And the other foot is looking good. It still felt hot across there, but no blisters, so all survived. Alright, time to eat. The high point, and now I will be dropping down the spur line, which will curve around a little bit, down to Copper Creek. So it's about 2k to drop down to the creek. And over this next 2 kilometres, I'm dropping down 500 vertical metres. Once I drop down, I then climb up this ridge here, drop down all the way down to the other side, and then up that ridge behind it, and then down the other side. So it's just up, down, up, down. You can see the track going down there. A lovely drop down into the bush, nice and sheltered, and a lot more open in there. Any guesses which way the wind blows? That's right, that away. The reason a lot of this bush is so thick is it's secondary growth. So that means it was all cut down when they turned this into farmland, and then it's regenerated back. Once the bigger trees come in, they put shade over some of these little trees and they die off, and then the forest floor starts opening up a bit. But it's a while before that happens here. Used to be a forest dominated by rata trees, but the rata made very good wood for building, and so most of them were logged. Just saw 2 young guys coming up here in gumboots and jeans. They're looking pretty hot. So is it fun at the top? Oh, poor guys, they've got quite a way to go. Ooh, that was a slippery descent, but I'm down. Pretty road end, 3 hours. Yeah, I wasn't too far off. Alright, so I'm not going to the road end. I am doing the copper mine loop, which goes down this way. I've been looking at this section coming up. It is straight up, so I'm down here and it's straight up this hill to the ridge line, and it is a 300 meters in less than a kilometer. So, it's going to be fun. This is Copper Mine Creek, always nice to get across dry. Cross there, dry feet crossing. Now a tiny bit of flat before the steep up goes. It's not a perfectly straight line like the map, but it is really steep. Oh, yeah, steep. I'm just taking this in short sections. My calves are really tight at the moment. I made it up. Alright. So I am now going to Billigo Creek, Mangatua stream. 45 minutes. Alright, I'd really like to get a view across and see where I'm going tomorrow, but it doesn't look like it's going to clear. Oh well. So now I am dropping 200 vertical meters over 500 meters. So once again, it's going to be steep. Oh, so beautiful being back in the bush again. It's just gorgeous. Rarity, some mature trees, beautiful. Right, continue dropping. You can see small views of the ridge I'm going up next, and the good thing, it looks like it is nice bush just about all the way up to the top. So that's reassuring. Still haven't been able to see if the track drops down, but maybe there'll be a hunting trail or trap line or something marked at the bottom, so we'll see. I've got a clear view, so that high point up there, the track starts right on the other side of that. So my options are, from the campsite, is just head straight up the spur line and up to the top and then along the ridge. Disadvantage is it's a lot of travel along the ridge, and that looks like pretty hard travel up there. My other option is actually to go up the river and go up the river as far as I can and then cut up to the ridge. The advantage of that, it cuts down the amount of travel through the bush, and the river, the main river, will be clear. The side tributary to actually get up to the top will be a bit more cluttered, but that significantly reduces the time to get up to the ridge line, and also less travel along the ridge and that really awful stuff to travel. I'm okay, I can get up this sort of stuff. It'll be slow, but it's possible. There's lots of punga trees. Usually it's fairly okay walking, and the mature trees, you'll generally have better travel under the mature trees as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, head up and then go around, if there's not a track down the bottom. Right, made it to the river. Copper Mine road end, that's the way I've just come from. Alright, so I am going to find a campsite, and that's me for the day. That's a 7-hour day, not bad. Here's my tent all set up. I have a little look inside, so I always have my water bottle sitting just here, and then looking inside. Down my feet I have my cold weather clothes and my wet weather clothes on the other corner, and then in the other alcove goes my pack and my socks and gaiters hang up to dry. That's my mattress. There's a nice thick mattress. My pillow, and then my food is at my head, and my torch and phone sitting there in the corner as well. So yeah, that's what my tent setup looks like. It's been nice chilling out by the stream. I've been sitting on the rock just soaking my legs in the water because the water's freezing. Had a bit of a wash and just chilling out in the sun. It's nice. So this is something new I'm going to try. It is a freeze dry. Different from the normal backcountry cuisine I use. I was buying my running shoes at Trek and Travel in Hamilton, and they gave me one of these to try. It's a Radix. It's made in Waikato, so support locally made, and it's something different, so it's some competition for backcountry cuisine. So I'm going to have this tonight. This is obviously very easy to tear because it tore sometime in between putting it in my resupply and putting it in my pack. But it's free range chicken, tomato and basil, and that's what it's got in it. On the back it's got instructions about what to do. Basically you rip open the first bit, open the Ziploc, put the water in, and then when you want to eat it you can tear it off here, so it makes a much shorter plate for yourself. Here's more nutrition information. So you go 375 mils of boiling water, only 10 minutes to be ready, which is good. And it's made in Hamilton, so yay, I'm a Waikato girl. So ripping it open, it's pretty easy. Oh, apart from that last little bit, I missed. Go from the other end. And then open it up. And, oh, that smells so good. Look at the huge chunks in there. Ha 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 ha, that looks good. Looking forward to that. It just smells beautiful. So much for me for a single meal in there, so I've split it in two. So that's what it looks like up close. So yeah, that's half, and that's a good size portion for me. It's obviously made for normal guys. Do need to remember to pick out the dehumidifier sachet before putting your boiling water in. So all I do now is pour the water in. It's a bit hard to know the water. I like mine quite soupy. My cup's 450, but I've only taken half, but I've done 3/4 of a cup of water. Now basically zip it up, give it a shake just to make sure the things, give it a stir, and then zip it up and leave it to cook. Here you go, all hydrated. Had a taste and it's really nice. The chicken, I don't know how they got such big bits and managed to rehydrate again. The portion size, I'm glad I only halved it because this is more than enough for what I need. But the flavours on it are really intense. It's really nice. I'm impressed. All gone. I quite like the design where you can get the bottom nice and stable for if you're sitting it anywhere. That was really good. I think that's one of the best freeze dry I've had. Best I've ever had. I had a Termat pulled pork, which is a Norwegian brand, and the Backpack Pantry US brand, the Pad Thai. And this is now my new favourite. Yum. Just saying, Trek and Travel, the shop that gave this to me, they didn't give it to me thinking I was going to do a review. They just asked me to give them some feedback on what I thought. But while I'm videoing, why not share so that you guys can try something new as well. The reason I didn't rip it across there to make it a lot easier to eat is because I wanted to use this as my rubbish bag.